I've been told since the beginning, you're too nice for this business, and that used to piss me off.
And a wide variety of foes here and sing a wide variety of songs in ACW, but is he ready for an explosive kid in the form of Kamikaze Ken Anderson?
A high spot and a low spot back in 1993. Pro wrestling and WWE in particular was a big man's company. I was a small man, but I was getting quite a bit of extra work, for WWE, where I did jobs for a period of time, worked some dark matches as Jerry Fox. I started a business to keep myself occupied when I wasn't on the road or wasn't wrestling for USWA, AWA, or WWF then. I was a pro wrestler for better than 25 years, and now I currently am involved in the business end of sports entertainment pro wrestling. I got a call one day at my office from a guy who's claiming to be Sergeant Slaughter and wanted to speak to Jerry Fox because Jerry Jarrett told him to call me to ask me to submit a tape. And I had to make a decision. I actually put together a tape, sent that tape, and out of 300 tapes, mine was one of 30 that was up for a second viewing. I got called again by Sergeant Slaughter to tell me that that was something because there was nobody else my size in that 30 tapes. I'm actually impressed looking back at this. Even just that singing thing, that was, that was entertaining and no one was really doing it at the time, I know it's goofy, but they used to, I'm telling you, this stupid jacket was more over than I was. This thing's been all over the place.
From Mound, Minnesota, weighing in at 225 pounds, Rockin Randy.
It's All-Star Championship action. All-Star Championship Wrestling on UPN 32. Matt Byron here with the suddenly follicle-free Angelo Stefano, and the TV title continues.
I knew what I had to do. I had to get into this ring, and I had to do more than the rest of them to be noticed. They had that something special. I would go and do the weights and hit it just as hard as those guys would, even though I was, so much smaller. But what I would do is I would always do more. I would say, okay, I'll see you guys back at the hotel. I'm going to swim 20 laps before we get on the road to the town. When I was a kid and I learned what the UHF channel did, the first program I saw was Bob Loose Wrestling.
Well, let me say a little class is going to return to Bob Loose Wrestling in Chicago because that's what professional wrestling's all about, class.
The premise to the bottom line was the good guys always prevailed over the bad guys. When I saw these guys, there's no way in the world anybody was going to tell me that was fake. The first escape I had from life was wrestling. That suspension of disbelief was something I needed. My dad do fucked up things to me, He put me through the garage wall one time, through the drywall when I was little, And he was, an addict and alcoholic. His beatings were more severe, but he wasn't around much, so they weren't a constant or as constant as mom's. The only thing I could learn to do there is not cry when it really hurt. No, I remember this one time I was 8 or 9. If I run my head straight into those, I got a feeling I can get away. So I did. I charged, the few feet, and boom, nailed her. She hit the bed and bounced off, and I ran. At one point, became all important to me, not to be disrespected and go out there and look for opportunity to not be disrespected because I felt so fucking humiliated. So I think that was the first thing. I actually tried to get it ingrained in my soul, and it was almost sometimes something to pin my hopes on. That, if I could do enough push-ups, if I could do enough of this, that, or the other thing, I could be like that. I'm not going to get beat up anymore. I'm not going to get abused anymore. We used to take a minute, 1 minute. First step of the match, first part of a match was to show people through that 1 minute who was the good guy, who was the bad guy, you know, the heel, who was the face. So I think it helped me there a lot, especially being a heel. Because, you know, I think back to that crazy, stupid shit was really easy to tap into. Probably in some way healthy. As a bad guy, you know, very easy for me to piss people off because I've been doing it my whole life prior to that with my family, with my mother and father, for example, you know, with sarcasm and shit like that, one-liners, you know.
Aside from that, nobody wants to hear what Squeaky and Horseface has to say anyway.
If it's in here and you love it and you got that drive and you don't give up, anything's possible. When I put my head down on the pillow, my conscience is clear. Sometimes I have to break it down and say, okay, you got a lot to be fucked up about. In the same token, I got to break it down and say, okay, for today, you got what you needed.